So did you envision yourself here in this moment ever in your life? I mean, was this something that you ever envisioned? I mean, yes, you got the big house, you got the 2.5
it's not
and a half kids with 3, but when you sit back, it's like, tell me, how do you feel when you sit back and kind of look at Tiffany high school and college, and now Tiffany married mom, first lady?
Maybe I haven't had time to really think about it. I certainly didn't think I was going to have, triplets. That, changed everything and changed us a lot. Yeah, this has been very different.
Do you ever have out-of-body moments where you kind of step out of your life and look at what's going on and think about whether I should do it differently or better? I mean, like even in raising the boys or cooking a meal or just interacting?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll go, just step out and just think, what if I had done this, rather than the route that I took to, I guess rearing them up a little bit. Yeah, I think probably I do that sometimes.
I'm going to make sure Pastor Walt didn't hear this part. Did you have any steady boyfriends in high school or college that you thought was going to be the one?
I did. I know I had one in high school. My parents hated him, I think. But I loved him.
Because they hated him.
Yep. So, gosh, I was probably stuck with him for a little while until I got off to college. And then, college life, you learn to do your own thing. And so, yeah. Then I think after college I had another steady boyfriend or whatever. And I think they liked him, a little bit better.
Let's talk about
him.
Now, his story that I've heard told is that he saw you one of the praise dances and he went to Doc and said, I'm lasered on that, and tell me who she is and whatnot.
Yeah, that's what he says. I do remember that day. I think we had not just finished dancing. That would be crazy awkward. But after church, him and another minister coming down to the pews where we all were just kind of standing, talking or whatever. And at the time, he was trying to get the Rise ministry going real good or whatever. So that was how to, I guess, get to me or whatever, is to talk about that and getting involved with that. So, I mean, yeah, I saw him, and it was funny because my first time seeing him, I remember my friend Reese, I don't know if you remember her, but she goes to Ebenezer, but I remember her nudging me. That was the first time I had ever seen him or whatever, and we were just like, look at that suit he got on. And I mean, we were just cracking up, laughing or whatever, so, it was just funny then. But so he likes to think that he's a great dresser. He's gotten good though since then. So but then it was just like, what in the world, So, but yeah, so he came down. He, didn't have that suit on, but I was like, okay, and he's like, would you like to, have lunch sometime, or whatever? And I was like, yeah, okay. Now, apparently he had been trying to get a hold of me or, talk to me before then, but, I was the get in church and then I'm out, Don't have time to talk, I got to go. So he did catch me that time. So we went out to eat, and I think that was it. That's how it, started.
Oh, that's so sweet. So, yeah, well, little do you know that he had laser locked and loaded on you from what I've heard. So you were destined. So we know that, he finally made his way to you. He asked you out for lunch, and you said yes. What was going through your mind? Were you thinking, wow, I could end up dating a preacher, or I wonder if my mom and dad are going to like this one? I mean, Talk to me. Talk to us.
So yeah, of course that did start going through my mind, like dating a preacher. You know, I'm certainly not an angel, so how is this gonna work? You know, all those things going through my mind, and I kind of felt like my parents would probably, you know, like, you know, the fact that I was dating a minister or whatever. You know, it was just something, you know, that I was going to have to, you know, adjust to. And he made me feel, Walter did, you know, pretty comfortable, you know, right from the beginning, because, you know, probably like everyone else, you know, I'm just like, so, you know, you're like the man of, you know, God, you know, that's kind of big. Yeah, right. Right. So, you know, he was just like, be you, you know, don't worry about me. I know that you have, you know, we all do. We all have things that we have to work on. So, you know, just be you, know, don't change you. And honestly, he's been like that, you know, even through marriage and everything. Anything that comes up, he's like, you know, you got to be yourself and don't be ashamed of that. So I got, you know, pretty comfortable, you know, with Walter, you know, very early. And I was me. And he was okay with that.
And obviously he fell in love with you.
With me, yeah. He would call me like all the time, and I would just be like, hey, I just talked to you an hour ago. I'm at work, you know. And he'd just be like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good, you know. And so that was, you know, really different, just that all the time, all those things. And my dad was like, love you, he gonna be there, you know, all the time, right there, you know, taking care of you, taking you out and all that kind of thing. And, you know, and that's exactly what he was doing. And so, you know, that was good. But a part of me was just like, he just so goody, you know. And there were some times where I had to just kind of challenge, you know, that a little bit, and just, you know, I don't know, you know, doing that. I don't know if this is gonna work, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, I'm gonna tell you now, you know, either we gonna, you know, do this thing, or I'm gonna have to go head on. So, and, you know, I got myself, you know, together real quick, and I was like, okay, you can let him go, you know, and then always have it in your mind, you know, what could have been. So I was like, okay, let me stop playing games. Let me just go ahead on and accept the fact that this is, you know, probably gonna be long term, you know, whatever. So, but yeah, it was interesting.
How long did y'all date?
Did we date maybe a year? Let me think. I think we did date for at least a year, and then we got engaged. And I mean, that happened really quickly. You know, I think when we got engaged, we were married within like 5 or 6 months, I think. So that was a little different for me, because in my little, you know, world when I was growing up, you know, you had time to plan the wedding and make it all, you know, extravagant or whatever. I had 5 to 6 months to get it together, but it was fun. It was fun.
So, to your parents, did they like him?
Yeah. They liked him right off. Yeah, and I think they, you know, probably knew too that this was probably, you know, gonna be the one, you know, that I may end up marrying. My mom, she had to get used to somebody else, you know, like doing my, you know, birthdays or whatever, because, you know, they were always, you know, doing the cake, and, you know, we would get together. Well, now we got Walter, you know, Walter wants to, you know, take me out for my birthday, you know, whatever. So, but it was good.
I can imagine it is an adjustment period though for the parents, because I'm an only child.
And you're only child.
And they're protective, and they're used to sharing the time with you. And the dad, I mean, you know, me and my dad are, so I can understand, you know, he's checking to make sure, okay, he gonna have enough mortgage money in the bank. You know, what is it, 6 months in the bank and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
So tell me about the proposal. And did he contact your parents before? Did you do the whole
Gosh,
ask?
I cannot remember. He did talk to my parents to let them know that he was going to propose to me. We went to the mountains, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. You know, he was like, get your stuff packed, we're gonna go, blah, blah. I was like, okay, you know, so we, you know, left out like that Friday. The proposal was just crazy within itself because we went out to eat and he was like, oh my gosh, I lost the keys or something. And I'm just like, what do you mean? You know, what do you mean you lost the keys? And whatever. I can't remember how it went, but we ended up trying to go looking for these keys or whatever. And I'm sitting there in a headscarf, you know, because I, you know, think I had already got myself together. And we're out looking for the keys, and you know, he's like, I don't know if they fell over the bridge or what, into like this little water area or whatever. And I'm like, man, it's dark out here. So he's down there looking, I'm looking, and then he just pulls, you know, the ring out, and he was like, you know, will you marry me? And I was like, yeah, I'll marry you. So. And, you know, found out that my parents, they knew, you know, the whole time or whatever, so. But yeah, I cannot remember. He might remember the story. I forgot how, but he got me back out of the house looking for something.
He found the ring, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So.
All right, so that means that you have mentally prepared and spiritually prepared yourself to be a preacher's wife.
Kinda, sorta. I think as much preparing as I could for myself, you know, that, because he had told me from day one, be you. So I'm me.